Let's jump right into something you're experiencing at this very exact second, yet it remains one of the absolute biggest mysteries of human existence: the future. Thanks to the unbreakable laws of physics, its arrival is completely inevitable. It's coming, ready or not. But what actually is it? In this explainer, we're going to decode how humanity understands the time that hasn't even happened yet. So, think about this for a second. Is the future already decided, or doesn't it even exist yet? It sounds like a super simple question, but it instantly shatters our basic assumptions about reality. Keep that paradox in the back of your mind as we explore how physics, philosophy, and modern science all attempt to answer it. Section 1. The Physics of Tomorrow: Time, Reality, and the Inevitable. Because the future is entirely unavoidable, and reality is just constantly moving forward, absolutely everything in the cosmos falls into one of two buckets. It's either permanent, like the foundational laws of gravity, or it's temporary, meaning it has an expiration date. Think of a star, a mountain, or, well, us. The sheer inevitability of the future forces a strict expiration date on almost everything. So how do we actually visualize this forward march? Well, much of the world relies on the Occidental view, which is a strictly linear conception of time. Imagine drawing a straight line on a piece of paper. The ink behind your pen is the past, the tip of the pen is the present, and that blank space ahead, that's the future. It's straightforward, it's logical, and honestly, it's how most of us plan our daily lives. But apply high-level physics, specifically special relativity, and that simple straight line completely shatters. In this realm, the future is considered the absolute future, or a future light cone. It's no longer just a flat timeline we're casually walking down. It's a fundamental structural feature of reality, dictated by the speed of light. In physics, the future isn't just an idea, it's a literal physical dimension. Moving on to Section 2, Does the Future Exist? Philosophy and the Flow of Time. This brings us to a fascinating concept called presentism. It's the philosophical belief that only the present exists. If you subscribe to this, the future isn't someplace you're traveling to. It literally does not exist. It's kind of like a video game where only the room you're currently standing in is actually rendered. The past is deleted, the future is completely unformed, and all of reality is strictly confined to this exact second. But flip the coin and you get the exact opposite approach: predeterminism. This is the belief that the past, the present, and the future have all already been decided. So unlike presentism's blank void, predeterminism argues that the script is already fully written and locked in. You're essentially just playing out your part in a sequence of events decided long before you were even born. Section 3. Religion and the Beyond: Karma, the Afterlife, and the End of Time. To cope with this massive, looming unknown, religions across the world place a huge emphasis on the future, generally focusing on three major concepts. First, you have karma, the idea that your actions today actively dictate your future circumstances. Second, life after death: what happens when our temporary physical existence ends? And third, eschatologies. Let's break that last one down clearly. Eschatology is the religious study of what the end of time and the end of the world will actually be. It's a heavy academic word for essentially studying the ultimate finish line. While physics categorizes the permanent and the temporary, eschatologies give believers the spiritual narrative for exactly how this temporary world will finally close its doors. And because this unwritten domain is just so deeply mysterious, we've basically always looked for a cheat sheet. Throughout history, prophets and diviners have stepped forward claiming the ability to actually see into the future. Whether they're interpreting divine will or reading cosmic signs, this really highlights humanity's desperate, enduring obsession with pulling back the curtain to know what's coming before it hits us. Section 4. Designing Possible Futures: Futurology and Cultural Creation. Enter futurology, also known as future studies. Now, this isn't crystal ball gazing. It's the modern science, art, and practice of postulating possible futures. It's a highly structured discipline that takes data, trends, and human ingenuity and blends them together to rigorously map out what might actually happen next. This field represents a massive shift in how we think. Modern practitioners stress the absolute importance of exploring alternative and plural futures rather than believing in one monolithic future. Meaning, we aren't just strapped onto a single, inescapable train track heading toward a predetermined destiny. Instead, we're looking at a sprawling web of potential futures that branch out based on the choices we make today. Because of this, the discipline recognizes the limitations of simply trying to predict probabilities. We can't just crunch numbers and guess what's going to happen with 100% certainty. Instead, futurology shifts our focus toward the creation of possible and preferable futures. And that is incredibly empowering. It means the future isn't just something that happens to us, it's a landscape we actively design and build. And we don't just build it with science and policy, we build it with culture. Just look at the 20th century art movement known as Futurism, which was devoted entirely to elucidating the concept of the future with its total obsession with speed, technology, and industrial cities. Art and culture allow us to visually and emotionally prototype the worlds we might one day inhabit. So here's the question I want to leave you with today. Which kind of future are you moving toward? Are you passively waiting for an inevitable monolithic destiny to arrive, or are you actively creating a preferable future out of a massive web of possibilities? The future's arrival might be physically unavoidable, but what it actually looks like is still very much